Got a little tense there. Just what do you guys think? You guys did well, or you got just offensively to allow you to preserve that win.
I can,
Got a little tense there. Just what do you see from your team offensively? Just making enough plays to be able to get that win.
yeah, it's really good execution down the stretch. We just tried to do what we, run our stuff. We got away from that a little bit in the fourth quarter. And then as the game settled down, just trying to put the ball in CJ's hands, trying to have JV set the screen and then play off of those two.
Yeah, yeah. You decided to close with Jose. Just what did you see from him in this game?
I thought he was great. Defensively, he was all over the place, getting steals, doing what he does. Offensively, he was giving us a lot on the offensive end. So just closing the game with him, putting him on Trae Young, causing havoc, and then having Herb guard Bogdanovich is the way we wanted to finish.
I mean, what does that just say about Jose that a guy who's undrafted rookie, like you're throwing him on Trae Young at the end of a game?
It's a credit to his perseverance, his resiliency. He's a guy that, like Herb, comes in the gym every day and works at it. And then, he was Defensive Player of the Year in his conference. So he's more than capable, 4-year guy that comes in and knows how to play, can execute, and he plays hard every time he touches the floor.
And Christian asked you this before the game, but he had a couple more plays tonight where he hit on the baseline and got steals. I mean, what's it like to see when he's doing that on the court?
It's incredible that he can do that and that he has an awareness of how to execute that type of steal. One of the first times I've seen it, but every time he does it and he gets a steal, we're grateful that he's just that type of guy.
Yeah, you said over and over again, you feel like that jumbo, lineup with Jackson and JV really gives you guys an advantage with the size and athleticism. How much do you think that played a factor tonight, just the size y'all were able to put on the court?
Yeah, I've been saying it since we went to that lineup, but having Jackson and JV and Herb and those guys out there, we're long, we're athletic. We can guard multiple positions, and they just take up a lot of real estate. Jackson was great today. He rebounded the ball well, got out in transition, and got a couple easy buckets. I thought defensively he was sound.
And we've talked about it before, but, since the All-Star break, all of the wins you guys have had, you basically ran away with it, in the fourth quarter. And tonight you guys, like you said, had to execute, had to get stops down the stretch. How important was that, especially, without BI out there?
I thought it was important for us to execute down the stretch and step up to the free throw line and make our free throws. When we played Denver in Denver, we had moments where we were executing, they were going down executing, but the game came down to who can make their free throws. And tonight, Jose made 2 big ones. JV made a free throw to put us up. And that's what it takes, execution and stepping to the line and making your free throws when you have a lead.
Yeah, you mentioned JV. Just how big was he for you guys tonight?
He was great. His patience, offensively, defensively, he was in the right spots. He's a monster on the boards, usually every game. And so he did a really good job of anchoring our group.
Go to Jim Eichenhofer on Zoom.
Hey, Coach, I know it's a long game and there's a lot of runs and back and forth, but how important do you think it was that the tone that you guys set in the first quarter to come out with the energy that you did? And it seemed like because of that, you guys were playing from ahead the whole night.
Yeah, to your point, it's important for us to get off to good starts. We set the tone right away, kind of knocked them on their heels, and then we just continued to execute from there. With our group, anytime that we can play with the lead, it's to our advantage.
Just one more from me on Jose. What does it say about him? Not only, you talked about him being an undrafted guy and stepping up, but having the wherewithal to attack at that time late in the game to get that layup, where, he's got a lot of other options on the court, but, feeling confident enough in himself and his game to hit that layup you guys needed.
He's a confident kid. He comes in and he works at it. So when he gets on the floor, he has the freedom, but the responsibility to execute. And he saw an opening. I think it was a screen with him and JV, and he just took advantage of it, went to the basket and made it. And, he's made big plays for us throughout the course of the season. And we really lean on him, his energy and his effort. He was great tonight.
Coach, when we have a player like CJ on the floor and off the floor in the team, in the locker room, what kind of uplifting for the young guys is his presence?
He's great. CJ has done it in this league with Portland at a high level. He's won playoff games, playoff series, played in the Western Conference Finals. So he brings a ton of experience to our group. And late game situations, especially not having Brandon, we can put the ball in his hands and he knows how to set the table so that we can execute at a high level. And the guys did that for the most part tonight.
And now that you've been doing it so much, have you noticed guys are like looking over their shoulder, kind of waiting for
That,
you?
you know, that's perfect, you know, because then sometimes I won't even be there and then I'll be in front of them and they still look, so I might get a steal. It's always just keeping them, you know, the opponent on their toes. Like, where's Jose? Where's Jose? So that's the main thing about it. And then once, if it happen, it happen. If it don't, then I gotta just roll with that.
And, you know, you had your big game in New York. You talked before the game about, you know, being back in Atlanta. You know, how big was it to have this game here where you play college?
Big time. Seeing everybody, you know, it's like New York to me. It's like New York for me, you know. I built a family here. They took me in as a sophomore. I used to get a lot of buckets across the street, a little few minutes from here, Georgia Tech. So it's definitely good. It's like a second home for me. And, you know, I got my family living here. I got my girlfriend family that lives here that took me in as one of their own. So it was just like a New York game for me, being like home. This is the second home for me.
And how big is it to execute the way y'all did down a stretch? And then you also had that big layup, you know, with 48 seconds left to pretty much ice it.
Important, you know, just staying solid. You know, that's my growth for my game. You know, Coach Willie and the staff and the team trust me down the line and learning from it, not making mistakes and be solid. You know, get CJ the ball. You gotta get CJ the ball. JV get involved, and then you know, they forgot about me. So I seen the open layup, I took advantage of it, and then, you know, it's just about the opportunity and staying solid.
Go to Jim on Zoom.
Jose, what did you think of the defense that you guys played and just in the first quarter and the intensity that you guys came out with?
I mean, that's who we are. You know, we started the San Antonio game just like that. We started here, and then, you know, we got a tough one tomorrow, and we got to start the same way. Obviously, the resources right there. We start playing defense, you know, at the beginning, and, you know, being into it, we got a game. There's gonna be a fight the whole night.
What did you think of the impact that Billy made tonight off the bench?
Big time. You know, a positive guy. It's like, can't make it up. He's always in the right mindset, you know, in the game or not in the game, waited for his opportunity. Great dude, man, off the court. And I'm glad to call him my teammate, and I'm glad him to be on this team.
Hey, Jose, it's Andrew from ESPN. Just wanted to go back to that, the steal with, I guess, 45. I mean, the layup with 45 seconds left. You mentioned that they kind of weren't paying attention to you. Did you see them kind of overplaying CJ a little bit on that, since that was kind of what you guys were running, or what? Just kind of take me through what you saw on that.
Oh, definitely. You know, CJ's get a bucket, so they knew we was gonna look for him. We was looking for him. It just I seen an opening, and I trust my instinct, and I got the job done. But it was just more of a read. I seen Trey when he was guarding me. I looking up towards CJ, looking towards CJ. As soon as he turned his back, looking towards CJ one more time, I knew I could get it past it. And JV did a good screen and wide open.
Got pretty close late. Just what do you think about the execution for you guys offensively in the final 2-3 minutes there?
Better. We're getting there. I had a bad turnover, but at least I used the whole shot clock down the stretch. But I think just getting to our spots, coach calling plays, and then us making decisions. I think that's going to continue to get better. I thought the guys did a great job moving the ball, defending. We made Tracy a lot of bodies early on. And, good teams are going to go on runs, and they went on a run, and we sustained that. Made free throws down the stretch and got baskets when we needed to. Got a couple offensive rebounds when we needed to, and I got a much needed win.
Of Jose's 3 steals, I think all of them were like chase downs, him coming from behind. Just what's it like watch him come out of nowhere like that?
Yeah, he plays extremely hard, man. He brings it every night. He pushes tempo. He defends. I'm happy for the success that he's having because of the type of person he is, and you see him having success. Obviously, being in Atlanta, having gone to Georgia Tech, I know it means a lot to him. And he was a big reason why we won tonight. Is his defensive intensity, his pressure, turning the ball over, getting out running, got a late basket, made some huge free throws, and it showed tremendous growth.
This team, if you just look at the record without Brandon Ingram, I mean, they've struggled. You guys have won 2 on the road without him. How significant is that? Just finding ways without BI in the lineup.
Yeah, we got to continue to figure out ways to win. Hopefully, Bi will be back soon. We need him. But in the meantime, guys got to step up, and I thought they did. I think all our bigs had a double-double. Willie was great off the bench. Najee did a great job of playing with the starters and playing under control, defending. Herb was great. Once again, in the passing lanes, getting downhill, getting to the free throw line. Big fella was super efficient. He had a big fadeaway down the stretch, got a couple tips, offensive rebounds to help seal the game. And that's what we're going to need. We're going to need everybody to step up and fulfill different roles, and I think they did that tonight.
Have you seen anything quite like those plays where Jose kind of hides on the baseline and then comes behind the guy and steals the ball?
I've never seen that before in my life. It's crazy because he's so fast. He takes himself out of the play, he kind of chills for a second, and then he starts sprinting. He's getting everybody. He's getting all stars, all different levels of players. It's a credit to him being creative.
And how big was it for you guys just to have, all that size out there with Jackson and JV dominating the paint the way y'all did?
They did a great job contesting. They put in some uncomfortable situations, having to guard, mobile guards like Trey, mobile wings like Gallinari and Bogdanovich, and I thought they did a great job.
Go to Jim on Zoom.
CJ, Devontae throughout the season has kind of joked, but also been seriously said that when he's asked about the success that the rookies have had, the 4-year guys, he's kind of talked about how great it is to see, the 4-year players do as well as they've done. What do you think about just kind of the poise that Jose has? I mean, you talked about his defense, but offensively to be able to put the ball in his hands and for him to be able to do that at the end of games, it seems like it's pretty rare as a rookie.
Yeah, he's poised. Poised down the stretch, understanding what we want to accomplish. He defends. He's fast. He's quick. And like you said before, 4-year guys are, a little bit more savvy, a little bit more under control, a little bit more experience. Having gone through 4 years of college, you get a whirlwind of things thrown at you, from your freshman year all the way to your senior year. And you grow from a leadership standpoint. You grow from a development standpoint. And as a guy who went to school for 4 years, I'm appreciative of my experience on and off the court. And I think that maturity kind of factors over into a lot of players' success. So I'm happy to see them playing well, happy to see especially a guy like him, going undrafted and like his story, to be able to have success in the NBA.
CJ, for you, at this stage of the season, how refreshing is to be in a team with such a young, gifted teammates? How refreshing is for you, and how important is to lead by example, lead on the court and off the floor?
Yeah, I mean, they're like a breath of fresh air. They're funny. They got good personalities. Listen to music. They dance. They got all the handshakes and stuff. And me, I've been in the league a long time, and I gotta come up with some handshakes. But for right now, I don't have any. But it's fun to play with them. It's fun to be a part of what we're trying to accomplish, and to kind of come in and join them and kind of show them how I do things, but also learn from them in terms of how they do things. And I think leadership goes both ways. Obviously, how I move on and off the court. Not just in the basketball realm, but like in the business realm, I'm trying to teach them things that'll be important for them long term. Obviously, the basketball is what it is, but from a vocal standpoint, you earn your vocal leadership, and I think it starts with the work. It starts with the preparation. It starts with my approach, and then slowly I kind of integrate my voice when I think it's necessary. But I never wanted to be the guy whose voice is heard all the time. I think it kind of gets drowned out. So I speak when I need to. They have a great group of guys here who do things the right way. They're learning and trying to integrate myself properly.
JV, just what did you like about what you guys were able to do in those last 3-4 minutes to close that game out?
Well, most importantly, we close out the game. We executed down the stretch. We did what we supposed to be doing. It was a tough game. They're a good team. They fought it well. So those games, I think, building our character and gives us that extra motivation for next game. We can play good in a tough game stretch. That's what we're looking for.
Jose, guy who's an undrafted rookie, was out there defending Trae Young, in the final minutes there. Just what did you think about his overall impact in this game?
Well, he's great guy, humble, working hard. So I can only give him a props. He's every day in the gym working on his games. Uh, I mean, he's terrific.
What do you think about his sneakiness? He's just always sneaking up on guys.
Yeah, I taught him that. I'm a sneaky guy too.
I don't know how many people you're sneaking up on, but I mean, how much of an advantage do you think it gives you guys when you, Jackson, and Billy are playing well the way y'all did tonight, the way y'all are able to control the paint?
You know, we all played well. We all, you know, we need all guys who's ready to play. We have Brandon out now. Somebody else got to step up, and he's a big part of what we do, and we need everybody to step up and perform and do well in order to win the game. So, not just bigs.
And what do you think about, the job the team has done overall, climbing back from that 1-12 hole and getting to where you are now, jumping into the 9th seed, with this win tonight?
Yeah, we had a rough start, but we kept believing. We never gave up, and we see some good things ahead of us. So we just gotta keep doing what we do. Stay together. It's been a up and down roller coaster season. We at the moments we played great, at the moments we played not so good. So we just got to believe in everybody, in each other, in coaching staff, what we do, and execute. So I think that's the key.
Christos on Zoom.
AJV, great game, great win. How big is the growth of your team game by game as the season goes on? Did you notice as the biggest growth of your team?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. What did you notice as the biggest growth of your team as the season goes on, game by game?
We getting know to each other. It's start of year. It was a fresh group. A lot of new pieces. It takes some time to play with each other. Know each other, know what the guy likes to do who's next to you. So that'll take some time, but we getting there.